Understand that they want to be careful. I understand that they wanted to bring attention because they don't want to find themselves in a situation where all of a sudden Canelo Alvarez is empowered because he's performance enhanced, because this is boxing that we're talking about here. You can get yourself hurt in that ring.
You know, but what we don't talk about is, you know, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. And he was on what he could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
You think he was clean the night he fought?
I'm saying.
Today we are stepping straight into the kind of conversation boxing usually avoids. From the opening seconds, the tone makes it clear this isn't casual talk or internet noise. This is about risk, responsibility, and what happens when power meets privilege. Boxing is already dangerous by nature, and when anything extra enters the equation, the consequences become permanent. This opening doesn't accuse outright, it plants doubt carefully. And that doubt is enough to pull viewers in. Right away, the sport feels exposed.
Dr. Bletcher, do you think the reason why PEDs are so prominent is because they're still not testing for growth hormone quite yet?
Well, that's one, but there are many out there. I think the testing policies that are in place are really not designed to catch people yet.
This section explains why PED discussions in boxing carry a different weight than in other sports. In boxing, mistakes don't cost statistics, they cost years of someone's life. The commentary highlights how testing gaps still exist, even at elite levels. That creates an uneven battlefield where fighters trust rules that may not fully protect them. When enforcement lags behind science, danger grows quietly. This moment builds tension by showing how fragile safety really is. It reframes PEDs as a human issue, not a technical one.
Fucking Canelo, man. I don't know if he's cheating.
What do you mean?
I feel like Canelo juices. But I'm a Triple G fan, so I'm a say that ahead of time. I just like Triple G.
There's a lot of money on the line, and if I could get away with it, I would do it as well.
Some tainted beefs.
I think, well, he definitely got busted once for something, but it could have been from tainted beef. We don't know. But it also could be that, we should probably leave them the fuck alone and let them do whatever they want to do. Do you want to see Manny Pacquiao fight or not? Right? I want to see him juiced up, fighting at 45 years of age, coming in with a full six-pack, lighting people on fire.
Here's where suspicion turns blunt and uncomfortable. Fighters begin speaking honestly about temptation, money, and opportunity. No one is pretending the sport is pure anymore. When someone admits they would cheat if they could escape consequences, it exposes the mindset created by massive financial stakes. This isn't hate, it's realism. That honesty hits harder than accusations because it sounds believable. Viewers are forced to ask whether integrity survives when millions are involved. The tone shifts from caution to confrontation.
Do you think Canelo will ever pop dirty again?
No.
Do you think he's still juicing?
I don't know. I don't know what's in the man's heart. That's God's business. That's Jesus' business. It's not my.
This segment brings up the infamous tainted meat explanation, and the reaction tells the real story. Years later, fans still aren't convinced. The issue isn't whether it's possible, it's how often the excuse has been accepted. Repetition erodes trust. When accountability feels optional, doubt becomes permanent. This moment captures why neutrality is fading. It shows how unresolved explanations create lasting damage. Even without proof, belief starts to collapse.
Y'all think Canelo hasn't been taking clenbuterol for a long ass time? Y'all think he ain't back on that shit? Or y'all think it was just in the state? Because I go to Mexico all the time, from Houston, from Texas. I'm in Mexico all the time, eating steak. I ain't never got popped.
This is where outrage becomes impossible to ignore. Comparisons to other fighters reveal a painful double standard. Some fighters are punished immediately, while others appear insulated. That contrast fuels anger among fans who expect fairness. The sport starts looking selective rather than consistent. This segment questions whether star power influences justice. When rules bend for popularity, credibility cracks. This isn't about jealousy, it's about equality. The frustration here feels earned.
Has anybody else noticed this? Well, I actually did some digging and confirmed many members of the boxing media have been paid off by certain people and essentially muzzled. I mean, these are the facts. For example, 6 of Eddie Reynoso's fighters have tested positive for PEDs.
Insider voices change the temperature of the conversation. When experienced fighters talk about habits, locations, and long-term behavior, the discussion deepens. This isn't about one failed test anymore. It's about patterns that don't disappear overnight. The idea that someone simply stopped feels unrealistic to many fans. This clip builds suspicion without screaming accusations. That subtlety makes it stronger. Viewers begin connecting dots on their own.
Crawford, who's made.
Are we gonna relitigate Canelo Alvarez's drug test?
I'm a drug user. I cheated sport plenty of times. I cheated those same commissions. This is not to relitigate. We know our own. I'm a cheater. I know a cheater when I see one.
Oscar de la Hoya doesn't suggest problems, he alleges them directly. His claims push the narrative beyond individual wrongdoing. When corruption and paid influence are mentioned, the sport itself goes on trial. This is explosive because Oscar knows the system from the inside. His words imply protection at the highest level. Whether proven or not, the accusation sticks. It forces fans to question what they're being shown. Trust starts slipping away.
Canelo was 100% confident in himself. I don't know why he wouldn't fight me. Especially since, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means including him, so he never got off
You think
steroids.
he's on steroids?
Of course. How does 5?
You saw De La Hoya
How do 5 people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids? Right. All those fucking dudes in that camp are dirty.
This part quietly delivers one of the strongest arguments. Multiple positives from the same camp stop feeling random. Patterns matter in professional sports. When similar failures repeat, responsibility expands beyond individuals. This segment suggests environment plays a major role. That idea is unsettling because it hints at systemic issues. The evidence may be indirect, but it's hard to ignore. Silence starts looking intentional. The doubt grows heavier here.
Talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. So let's not do that, Canelo.
Terence Crawford's voice brings credibility and danger to the discussion. He speaks with the confidence of someone who has nothing to gain from lying. His comments feel calculated, not emotional. Crawford positions himself as someone who recognizes cheating through experience. That adds weight to every word. He isn't chasing attention, he's challenging narratives. This moment raises the stakes significantly. When champions talk, boxing listens.
Listen, however they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight, and I'm going to win the fight. As simple as that.
Can I ask you about if there's any rematch clause with this fight with Canelo?
No, it's not.
Is that something you pushed for?
No, I didn't.
And there's any weight restrictions to the fight at all?
No, it's not.
A lot of fighters would like to put on a weight restriction to this type of fight. Why didn't you want to do that?
Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
This is the clip that stays with viewers. The discussion about raised drug thresholds shifts blame toward governing bodies. It suggests rules change when stars are involved. That implication angers fans more than any accusation. If standards move after violations, fairness becomes meaningless. This moment crystallizes distrust in boxing leadership. It feels like protection disguised as regulation. The sport looks compromised. Viewers feel betrayed.
So we have 2 drug users that both lost. 2 birds, 1 stone. But let's get to the point. The WBC raised the clenbuterol level for the drug users when they got caught using clenbuterol. They raised the drug level, as you can see right here. The WBC is owned by Mauricio Suleiman, a fellow Mexican. They raised the drug level for 2 steroid users, and they suffered 2 losses. 2 birds, 1 stone. 2 birds, 1 steroid. 2 birds, 1 steroid. I mean, what are you gonna say now? It's crazy how people can be the best but be on steroids. Where? In any other professional sport, you will be banned, you'll be stripped, but in this sport, you can be using steroids and still be good.
This segment forces an uncomfortable comparison. In most professional sports, failed tests erase careers. In boxing, controversy often fades. This raises a bigger question about accountability. Why does boxing operate under different rules? Is entertainment prioritized over integrity? Fans are left wondering if greatness excuses everything. This moment highlights boxing's identity crisis. The sport feels exposed. Trust continues to erode.
You could take a guy like Canelo. This guy could do. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Floyd Mayweather's long-standing criticism adds historical weight. This isn't a new opinion formed overnight. Floyd has questioned Canelo's hype for years. That consistency makes his words harder to dismiss. Whether fans like Floyd or not, his stance hasn't changed. This segment shows how old critiques suddenly feel relevant. It's less about rivalry and more about validation. History appears to be catching up.
Nice right hand by Mayweather off the jab. No dancing from Floyd Mayweather. Very low. Canelo goes low.
But you see what Floyd was doing in the clinches. He had his open hand over the mouth of Canelo Alvarez. I wonder if we can get a replay at the end of the round. So he put his glove, he almost muffed him. He put the palm of his glove in Canelo's face in that clinch on the opposite side of
Mayweather goes to touch gloves and Canelo wants no part of it. Counter right that bounced off Mayweather's shoulder. There was a left hook that landed by Canelo, but Mayweather comes back with a 2-punch combination of his own.
You can't beat Floyd Mayweather unless you can.
And Canelo's shoulder bumps Mayweather.
He's telling him you're doing it.
Visuals change perception faster than words. This fight footage reminds viewers what pure skill looks like. Floyd's control, timing, and composure stand out clearly. No shortcuts, no excess, just mastery. This contrast reinforces the idea that greatness doesn't need enhancement. It subtly strengthens Floyd's argument without commentary. The ring tells its own story. For many fans, this clip feels like proof. Technique speaks louder than claims.
Fial kind of made a great point when talking about sizes. Because he said, if you look at them two together now, they look the same size. He said, people have got the idea of the size thing wrong. It's not looking at them as a physical package. It's who has absorbed the bigger shots in the weight division. So, and it was good. It was a very good point. He was like, Canelo has been hit by light heavyweights and super middleweights for the best part of a decade.
Basically.
He's so used to taking those shots. Whereas Crawford hasn't. Crawford's been hit by 140 guys and 147 guys for the best part of a decade.
Yeah.
What's Crawford going to be like? So basically he's trying to say, Canelo could easily absorb Crawford shots. Can Crawford easily absorb Canelo's punches?
If you're taking shots from Triple G, Sergei Kovalev, Dmitry Bivol, and you're staying on your feet, not getting hurt.
Not even getting wobbled.
Not even getting wobbled, just literally shaking it off.
Yeah.
You can take Terence Crawford shots.
100%.
Guys, the Crawford versus Canelo conversation raises future stakes. This isn't fantasy matchmaking, it's a test of fairness. Crawford's willingness to move up clean reframes the debate. His challenge isn't about size, it's about equality. This segment highlights confidence rooted in preparation. It questions why hesitation exists if everything is clean. The fight becomes symbolic. Legacy, not belts, is on the line here.
You know what I mean? Like I said before, this is the biggest fight in boxing. You know, Terrence Crawford versus Canelo, Canelo versus Crawford. It's the biggest fight to be made in boxing, and it's made, and we're gonna make history.
We saw you at 180. Are you comfortable at that weight? Are you walking around that big? Are you comfortable at that?
No, man, I'm 200 pounds, man. What y'all talking about?
This is where boxing logic overrides casual opinion. Size alone doesn't define danger. Experience at higher weights changes everything. The conversation explains how damage absorption matters more than frame. Crawford and Canelo's histories create different realities. This breakdown forces fans to rethink assumptions. It's technical, but crucial. The matchup becomes more complex. Predictions suddenly feel uncertain.
Last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2002.
Mention me one. You mention me one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look,
it's gonna be me.
I don't
and
care
you
about
will,
nobody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stump a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? Same shit everybody else been saying since I moved to 147. I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in their ass, and he gonna be next. Watch.
This segment showcases Crawford's mental edge. His ability to control tempo, angles, and distance separates him from most fighters. This isn't flashy hype, it's calculated dominance. The commentary explains why opponents unravel against him. Crawford wins before fists fully land. This moment builds respect, not drama. It highlights intelligence as a weapon. The fight starts looking dangerous for anyone.
When the greatest Canelo came out, the one that you guys seen that fought Triple G the first time, bro, dude popped dirty for clenbuterol, bro. Why do you think the second fight didn't happen? So, for me, seeing that was the best Canelo I've ever seen. But that was Canelo off of steroids. Everybody else that he fought Amir Khan, he fought Daniel Jacobs, he fought Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant. These guys are all weak, bro. So for me, that's why I feel like I see Canelo Alvarez and I see like, he's not as good as everybody thinks. Because the best one that fought Golovkin that first time was off clenbuterol. That was the best Canelo I've ever seen, and that's why he looks so good, because he was off clenbuterol.
Here's the moral dividing line. A clean fight creates legacy. An unclean fight destroys it. This segment makes that distinction clear. Winning isn't everything if the playing field isn't level. Fans don't just want outcomes, they want truth. This moment reframes success itself. Boxing's soul feels at stake. The tension peaks here.
So you're gonna ask somebody that tested positive for steroids what they think about someone else testing positive for steroids? A friend, a fellow countryman, a fellow caveman, their fellow cave brethren.
History refuses to stay buried. The 2018 clenbuterol case resurfaces with new context. What once sounded plausible now feels repetitive. This segment asks how many explanations are too many. Patterns replace coincidence. Trust weakens further. Fans remember everything. Time doesn't erase doubt, it magnifies it. This moment feels damning.
Up the protein content in the meat. And he's saying that what he had was contaminated meat because his training center is in Mexico and there's a problem with Mexican meat down there. He even issued a statement saying, quote, "I'm an athlete who respects the sport and this surprises me and bothers me because it had never happened to me. I will submit to all the tests that require me to clarify this embarrassing situation, and I trust in the end the truth will prevail." So far, the fight with Gennady Golovkin is still on. He's still dead set on making that fight. Canelo says he's moving his training camp out of Mexico into the United States, where
fan trust is the true casualty in all of this. Once belief cracks, every victory is questioned. This segment captures exhaustion more than anger. Fans feel tired of defending what doesn't add up. Silence from authority only worsens it. The sport looks complicit through inaction. Credibility bleeds slowly. Boxing feels vulnerable here.
Natty, you said that before the first fight you didn't believe that Canelo was clean. Why is that?
I'm not thinking for him about just I saw, so many doctors sent me photos, just said, look, he's muscle, just injection to muscles, and he used, I don't know why his coach bring him, just something like pills, I don't know, after waiting, look, I will stay, he's waiting, and his pills, just for what, this is not my point, I know I'm never use, medicals, I like clean sport.
And for you, does the Nevada State Athletic Commission treat him with certain leniency as compared to you and other fighters?
No, I'm not thinking about just a lot for Nevada Commission or Athletic Commission, just because just if everybody bring him to ring, just it's legal.
So no matter what, even if he is not clean, you still want to fight Canelo Alvarez?
Absolutely, because just I know my stuff, just I 100% know my stuff, just I clean every time, just it doesn't matter for me who stay in front of me or my opponent, he use drugs or not use drugs, it doesn't matter for me.
Some people might say, well, if he's got an unfair advantage, why would you want to step into the ring with him?
This story goes beyond one fighter or one test. It's about whether boxing chooses integrity over protection. When stars appear untouchable, the sport suffers long-term damage. Fans want greatness, but they want it earned. Without trust, even legends feel hollow. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.